What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're interacting to the final episode of Gekidol. This was titled All's Well That Ends Well, which, for this show, it's... Well, it'd be nice if all's well that ends well, but I just don't see it happening. I really don't know what to expect from this finale. Like, it's kind of all over the place in a way. I'm struggling to make much sense of what or why is happening. Yeah, it's one of those shows that really is not super easy to understand at first glance. But the more I think about it, I can't just help but feel the innovators aren't necessarily bad guys. Like, it kind of initially makes it seem like the innovators are the bad guys and the gazers are trying to stop them from their evil plot, which might be what they tell their agents. They might have ulterior motives behind that, because the management of it doesn't seem super friendly from what brief moments we've had. But they seem to be just wanting to maintain the timeline, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Innovators are trying to change the timeline because they know that the timeline's doomed. Maybe the gazers just don't know that the timeline's doomed, and are just like, no, you can't mess with time travel, that's how we got into this mess in the first place. Maybe they're just trying to stop it based on that, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Like, Doll's interactions. I knew Doll would be a more important character for all this, but I still can't get a read on what or why Doll is acting the way she is. Like, she helps Hiro and Kaoru understand each other and see the past that he was forced to be wiped, in which she saved him from that truck, which is probably what happened in the original timeline. He was supposed to die in that, so she saved him using the time abilities. And then that obviously ended up with her being reprimanded and his memory being wiped. So why would Doll help that and then betray Kaoru and accelerate the end of the world anyway? One of Nep's theories was that because that maybe there's a jealousy aspect to that from hang on, let me just read that quote because it was said much better than I could ever paraphrase it. Let's just go back to last week's episode real quick. There it is. Let me just YouTube, I love you for working every time flawlessly. Yeah, impersonating Miki for so long when she was with Takazaki, that maybe that personality's bleeding through. Because we've shown that the GMS has personality data kind of stored in it, so it makes sense for personality data to be mixed in with it. And if you're going to be impersonating someone, you need personality data in order to do it, so maybe some of that's just lingering. Something like that. But how we wrap that up in one episode, I don't know. Also, I don't know, honestly, if any of that is going to link back to our main Alice in troupe at any point, or if that's going to be mentioned anymore. I genuinely do not know. Or if we're going to get any more background on what happened in the GMS disaster for, Seria to, have her trauma and then get fixed. There's a lot there. I don't know if we're going to wrap all of it up, or if it's going to be that satisfying of a wrap-up. That's my main concern with this. I don't know how satisfying this conclusion is going to be. That's always my worry with every show when it comes to the end. It was kind of instilled in me from Winter 2020. Was it Winter? Yeah, Winter 2020. I'm looking at my canvases over there, which have a bunch of shows on them. Winter 2020, when I was first doing this, made me realize, because I was watching a lot of shows for the first time in a long time. 2019 was not a year I watched a huge amount of anime. It was only late 2019 and now into the channel that I'm watching a lot more. I realized just how much more frequently that unsatisfying endings seem to crop up in certain instances. I'm like, especially amongst 12 episodes. 24 episodes normally have plenty of good endings, but 12 episodes, I'm like, some of these endings really just don't hit that well, and it's kind of like a bit of a downer on the otherwise good series, so I'm slightly concerned for this show in that respect. I don't know how you can wrap this up in 20-odd minutes, but I guess we'll see, right? And I don't think it's going to link back to Seria and all that, so it feels like we've got two stories running concurrently, one of which just happened to link in briefly, and then we just handed over to that story and forgot about all them, and they're less important. I really thought the aspect of non-TMS theatre would be more prevalent in them. And I guess it could be because Hero's vision of connecting the world through the TMS, which is apparently something that the innovators tried to do as well. Like, that was one of their plans as well, or one of their things that they tried to do to save their world, but apparently that didn't go too well. Or maybe that was their plan when they got here anyway. I don't know. But yeah, everyone's obsessed with TMS. It makes sense for that to be destroyed and then want to realize just how normal theater is still as compelling and engaging. I thought that's maybe where they try and go with it, but apparently not. The whole timeline thing is just brain cells. Any show that messes with time gets confusing very, very quickly if you don't handle it very obviously. So we'll see what the finale is like. I'm not expecting much. Like I said, I've lowered my expectations because I'm not certain this is going to wrap up nicely, but we'll see. As per usual, though, these are time-based formats here on YouTube. If you want to see full picture-in-picture, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture-in-picture actions I do on the channel, which is everything from this season and future seasons. Some backdated shows, Patreon request shows, such as School Live, which we'll be doing later today. Good things like that, including movies as well. Stay tuned for the next movie this month. As well as the poll next month to vote on what movie we'll be watching next, which will probably be Weathering with You, but we'll see. Here on YouTube we have two time-based, so bottom left of the screen you'll see a time for the episode. I count down 3, 2, 1, play. Then play start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. We'll watch this one on Funimation since they licensed it this season. We have the HappyNet logo, then the Funimation logo, so about just over 18 seconds logos, give or take. You can use screen flash on my face or the mic to tell when the scene is transitioning. Pay attention to this part of my headset, it's very reflective and should help you sync it up. So, with all that said, and my voice already getting shot, even though it's the second video of the day, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. HappyNet. I need a drink. And Funimation. Here we go. Alright, yeah, the GMS is rising up into the air. I forgot this bit. I don't know what this means, but yes, everyone's... Yes. It's very ominous. Oh. Happening all over the world, so they can see it. All the dolls, obviously. Well... Maybe, but... This looks like an ominous pod thing that might contain something. Or are we gonna... Oh boy. And they're having this at the same time. Yes, we are. What? Okay. OP time. For the last time this season. Oh, I don't think that was anyway. Here we go. That's creepy. Oh. Oh. I mean, they did say something about like a collected conscience of some sort, didn't they? God, that's terrifying. You just connected the entire time. Okay. Oh no. Hmm. Now it's your turn. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Interesting. So that was the point of activation. Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Jesus. What are you gonna do with the other 2 billion? Right. Huh? Okay. Okay. I don't know if I got that, but okay. And they're in there, okay. Oh. Oh. Jesus. I don't think she is, but gonna jump in front of it. Whoa. Oh god. Oh god, that was more graphic than I expected. Yep. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. I guess she's naive. Jealousy. Yeah. They're gonna go off script though, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Now we're going off script. Well, off her script in Riviana's. Hmm. Oof. And both. 5 billion people see that. Mm-hmm. So now what happens? Back 5 years ago. Hmm. Okay. These two again. We're recounting events to lead them all together again. Okay. Okay. I think my fear was kind of realized a bit there. That did not have the satisfying ending that I kind of expected it to have. Well, no, I expected it to be. I did expect it to be this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm satisfied by that ending or not. I don't even know if I understood that ending or not. But yeah, so the innovator plan using everyone was to collect the consciousness, recreate the events, and go back 5 years in the past to prevent that from happening. So, in the end, the innovators were the good guys. Kinda, sorta, kinda. Kinda, sorta, kinda. But we just, because of the play going differently from what she expected and Karu's influence on the girls, we have now ended up in a situation where there are no innovators, there are no gazers, time travel's not a thing, the GMS hasn't come back or anything like that. Everyone's just off doing their own things right now. I mean, it's a bit ambiguous what the hell happened to Kaoru then, because... Yeah, what happened to Kaoru and Hiro and Azusa? Like, they didn't show anything as to what actually happened with them in the end. Like... Yeah, they haven't touched on any of that. I guess... I don't know what would have happened to any of them. Like, their timelines would be completely different because they wouldn't be involved with the innovators or the gazers or anything, because they don't exist necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Huh. I don't know what to think about that. I really don't know what to think about this finale. I I really don't know what to think. I really don't. I need to look up forums and stuff for this show. I really do, just to see what other people are thinking about it, because I'm really undecided right now. Ratings are not being very kind to it, which is understandable now that we've completed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what to think. Like, I'm so happy this show tried to do something different. Because I've said it many a time with any idol show or like these types of shows that just doing the basic idol format is obviously very, very weird. And this show has a lot of things going for it, but I think the ending did not live up to it. I don't know if it's a pacing thing, but a lot of the intrigue and tension got very, very bizarre. And I don't know if it was worth going off base like that. Like, having Doll was creepy. And still kind of is. But I feel like they could have played into the creepiness more. I don't know, I feel like they overdid it on the time stuff. And the whole Emery Viano stuff and all that. Like, that all came in a bit too late into the show. And I think it was overdone. Yeah, I hard to really say. I need to give it some more thoughts because, like, first impressions, I think I was contemplating giving this show like mid-season once I'd seen like the doll aspects and seeing how that's getting weird, and then seeing Doll go off the roof and then Hero bring her back. Like, after all that, I was thinking this could be a good 8.5 because it's like it's doing something so bizarre and so interesting. I think it unfortunately dropped in the second half of the season, and especially now with the past couple of, well, last episode and this one. I think it's trying to do too much in one go. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but when it comes to shows, multi-core always ends up being better for pacing. It always does. Trying to fit so much in 4.5 hours is difficult. It's not impossible because movies do it in two, right? And movies have a lot of things going for them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on that ending. Maybe it's just because I need to think about it a bit more, understand it a bit more. I'm glad. Okay, one thing I will say, because I just want to wrap this up relatively quickly. I've got lots to do today. One thing I am happy about is that they did link back Saria and her troop back into the actual plot of the story. I was worried that they would be off doing their own thing and the plot of the story would resolve itself without them in it. Like, I was kind of concerned they might do that, but since they were doing the parallel of the story, what they thought was the parallel to the story and didn't know there was actually a real story, excuse me, seeing that link was nice to come together, and seeing them go off a little bit against Azasa's intentions or Emery Viana or whatever, like, that was a nice little touch. But yeah, I just think it was doing too much in one go. I think if it had simplified the time aspect a bit more, or maybe not even had a time aspect at all. I don't know if time travel was necessary for this type of show. I think just focusing on Dol and the whole SMT system was interesting. Honestly, having the GMS be the cause of this disaster was interesting. I just don't think you needed to go necessarily the time travel route with it to really make that something special. Maybe that's just my own personal thoughts, but I think it was just too many things shoved into one that the average viewer is not going to get. I mean, the average viewer clocked out, like, episode 2, let's be real here, maybe even episode 1. But, even then, I think it just did too much in one go. That's my end verdict. I'll think about it some more, obviously. I've still got plenty of time, actually. I think I've got, like, another week or so, over a week, until I have to think about my, end of season review video, so I'll give it some. This show will be getting a lot of consideration as to where I rank this, because it's definitely lower than I think I would have thought early on, but I want to know how harsh I'm going to be on this, because I don't want to be too harsh, because it was trying, and it did something very unique in that regard, but I don't know if it hit off necessarily for me, so we'll see. But thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series. Leave your comments down below on how you feel like the ending went and how you feel about the series as a whole now that you've experienced it all. As of right now, there is no announcement of a sequel, and I highly doubt there will be. If this gets a sequel before any other shows really this season, that would be a huge surprise. But leave a like, enjoy the episode, and don't forget to hit subscribe to see other Winter 2021 shows that are wrapping up on the channel, as well as the rest, rest of the shows that will be coming out on the channel for next season. So thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.